Hello, I am Isabel Gracia Bernad, and I will teach you how to solve a second grade equation. First, a second grade equation is an equation represented by a quadratic polynomial. His general form is x squared plus bx plus c. This kind of equation always will have two results or two solutions. It can be solved by two methods, depending on the numbers that have the equation. One of the methods is by factoring, and the other with general formula. Let's start with factoring. Factoring is to express a number or a number set as the product of smaller numbers. For example, 4 is equal to 42. Or more difficult, x squared minus 49 is equal x plus 7 for x minus 7. There are 5 kinds of equations that you can factorize. The first is a perfect square trinomial, where a and c are numbers who have exact square root, for example, 2 and 3. When you have these numbers, you are going to put first the number 2 with an x plus the number 3. And in the second parenthesis, you are going to put the same. When you have the equation factorized, you clear the equations that are between the parentheses, giving the two results, x1 and x2. The next kind of equation that you can factorize is imperfected square trinomial. The a will always be 1, and the c will not have exact square root. Here you need to put the x on the both parentheses. And next, you need to find two numbers that multiplying them result 10, and adding them result 7. For example, 5 and 2. 5 for 2 is 10, and 5 plus 2 is 7. When you have factorized the equation, you clear it, and you get the 2x. The next, it's a little more difficult. It's called imperfected square trinomial with a different from 1. For example, 2x squared minus x minus 3 is equal 0. To factorize this equation, first you need to multiply a for all the equation and then divide between 2. After you have done this, you are going to substitute 2x by y, and the equation is like this. When you have this equation, you need to factorize it. Then, you are going to substitute again y by 2x and factorize the 2. After this, you are going to divide 2x minus 3 between 1 and 2x plus 2 between 2. And you are going to have the factorization of the principal equation. After this, you are going to clear both parentheses and have the two results. Another kind is a binomial with only an x. For example, x squared minus 49 is equal 0. To factorize this equation, we put the x on both parentheses, and next we need to find the square root of number c, which is 7, and we put on the both parentheses with different signs. This kind of factorization is called conjugate binomials. Before you have factorized the equation, you clear it, and we have the both results. The last kind of factorizing is another binomial, but with 2x. For example, 2x squared plus 4x. To factorize this equation, outside the parentheses will be a monomial, and inside of the parentheses will be a binomial. When you have the both parts of the equation, you clear it, and you have the 2x. The second method to solve a second order equation is by general formula. We use it when an equation can be factorized. The formula is minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac between 2a. For example, 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 equals 0. In this case, 2 will be a, 5b, and minus 12c. And we're going to substitute these values in the formula. Minus 5 plus minus square root 5 squared minus 4 for 2 for minus 12 between 2 for 2. And we are going to solve this. To get x1 and x2, in x1 we are going to solve it with plus, and with x2 with minus.